Tom, it's just a tough subject. A recent study by Brown University showed that nearly 450 children are killed each year by their parents.
My daughters were picked up on a Friday by their father to spend the weekend, and that night he pumped carbon monoxide into their bedroom and slit their throats.
Searches have begun for 2 children killed by their mother in Pickens County.
9-year-old Hayden King was laid to rest today. Hayden's 4-year-old sister Harper will have a celebration of life service tomorrow morning.
Here's a story that's breaking at 6 o'clock. It's all centered around the 3 people you see on your screen, the key pieces in a Middletown murder case.
On the left is James Hutchinson. Police say the 6-year-old was killed allegedly by his own mother.
East Los Angeles mother was charged today with killing her 3 young children. The youngest was less than 2 months old.
At 6 with breaking news.
Good evening to you, friends. Greg Merriweather along with Elizabeth Val. Our top story today, that precious little 2-year-old right now. 2 people are facing charges accused of murdering little Nevaeh Allen. Investigators found the 2-year-old dead in Mississippi after several days of searching.
One of those blamed in her death, the girl's mother, Lanaya Cardwell.
Good morning, Coffee Club. Waking up with me this wonderful Thursday morning. I hope all is well. I see some lovely people in the chat this morning already starting. It's great to have you guys with me. If you guys have not already, I had to go. I still haven't gone to the store for my coffee. So the pot hasn't been full in a few days. But the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club mug is by far one of the best sellers on the merch site. If you guys are not part of the coffee club, please go get your coffee mug and be part of this group. For many of you guys, I just showed the clip of the despicable things, parents can do to their children. And this next case is really no different. Although the attacker, the perpetrator of this next case that we're going to be discussing is not a parent, he was the boyfriend, and this comes into, um, you know, women getting with the wrong kind of men, abusive men. And it sounds like this guy here, his name was Brandon. He apparently kidnapped and held hostage this boy's mother, Mason. So it's like, it's really bad. It's really bad out there. So we want to honor Mason in today's segment. Before we get started on going, oh, hey, Sasha, hopefully Jackie, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to be going over Mason's case. We're also going to be discussing a little more about, a lot of this stuff dovetails together, with Harmony, Summer, Serenity, which many of you guys know. Serenity was found. It was a sad situation. And of course, my sarcasm with this case, right? My sarcasm with this case, because we've got sympathizers out there that, these people are innocent until proven guilty, right? Well, this guy's locked up. So, maybe you guys should go fill up his Cash App, right? That's my sarcasm, right? I don't get it. So it's like, I get so tired. Now, this is a little bit different. Usually I would be coming down on the mother, but seeing the facts of the case where the mother was actually held hostage, God knows what she saw. Did she actually see him kill her son? I mean, the horrific things that woman went through. But this also comes back to our conversations about domestic abuse. It's a psychological thing for women, to constantly be attracted to those type of men. It's not just one. So it's really quite alarming. But before we get into that, I was in South Carolina, as many of you guys know, and we were following the Todd Kohlhepp case. He is a serial killer that was convicted in 2016 of killing he's convicted of killing 7 people, right? But it's alleged that he has killed more victims. It's also alleged that there are 2. He had a news crew go in there, and he alleged that there was 2 other people that he killed that they've never even mentioned, never even thought was him. It was between 2001 and 2003. How did we determine this time frame, right? It's because he was released. This gentleman went to jail at the age of 15 years old for kidnapping a neighborhood girl at gunpoint and raping her. And so he received a 14-year prison sentence for that in Arizona. He got out of the Arizona prison in 2001. And between 2001 and there was a motocross, a superbike motorsports murder that claimed 4 people's lives in November 6, 2003. And he said that he killed these people before the superbike murders. So it would have been between the end of 2001. I'm assuming somewhere in 2002, because he was released in November, I believe, November something of 2001. So I'm not sure, but he was at the Hunt Club Apartments. And apparently there was a lot of people that were posting flyers about him being a sex offender. You know, they didn't want the sex offender in their apartment with their children. And as many, if people are watching this case, many know that his disgusting, perverted views and leanings toward rape and murder never stopped. So far, we can only ascertain 2 victims that survived, and that was that young neighborhood girl and Caleb Brown, which was found chained up on his 65 acre property in Woodruff. So we actually went and saw all these places. We went to his property in Woodruff. We went to his property in, I believe it was Moore. Can't remember, but we went to his property. I have not finished editing all the videos. I'm going to be doing these things in segments, but I did put together some clips which are on my YouTube channel. And of course, there's advertisements on that because that's what helps keep the lights on here. So I decided, maybe I will go ahead and run this on here for you guys this morning, so you guys get to see some of the stuff that we did. Any place that we go. I mean, there's so many stories in all these states, right? Every one of the states is not immune from murders and missing people. It's a cold, hard reality out there for everybody across the United States and across the world for that matter. So whenever I do go out of state, I always have work. We cover these things. This is what we do. And so this is just one that a friend, a member of this group recommended us touch on. And so I didn't have an opportunity when I was in South Carolina the first time. The first time we discussed Susan Smith, which is eligible for parole in the year 2024. Do I think Susan Smith's going to get parole? No, I don't. No, I don't. So I know that, I don't know if Ronnie's if she fixed her phones. We may be covering Graceella today. I'm not sure. I have not seen her. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, Rebecca, nice. Sweet. Let me take this off. The reason why I've got this welcome banner on here, I just want to remind everybody that this show, as always, is a drama-free zone. I don't want, attacks on other YouTubers. I don't want anybody talking about anybody is personal business, legal business, or otherwise. This is a drama-free zone. We are not here to attack people. There are many channels that do that. This is not one of them. So I want to make sure that we keep everything above board and have a great time. And for some people, this is what they're watching before they go to bed. And in some cases, this is the show that sets the tone for the rest of someone's day. So we really want to make it as positive and productive as possible. And those that want to participate in that kind of show channel, this would be the one. So if you guys have not liked, shared, or subscribed this channel, please do so. Get your notifications. If you're not getting your notifications, change the notification bell to none and back to all. If that doesn't trigger the notifications coming back when we go live, by all means, please unsubscribe and then resubscribe. If you are wrenched, it will not affect your wrench. If you are a joined member to this channel, it will not affect your membership. So just to let you know, we want to keep this as positive and productive as possible. We don't talk about other YouTubers here. We talk about cases and victims. At some point last year, this was more of a, we had a lot of stuff going on and we fed into it. We no longer feed into it. We have not fed into it. It was a new wave of what this channel was since the beginning of 2022. So we want to stay focused on the cases. We want to have a fun time here, and we want to keep moving forward in a positive direction, bringing light to cases that have already been solved and unsolved cases. This is a true crime community. This is a true crime channel and show, and we want to keep to the facts and keep to the relevant topics. And quite frankly, sometimes we bring up topics that aren't even thought of, right? It was crazy because I did the segment on Susan Smith, and then this huge channel, I believe they had almost 700,000 viewers. Actually, I would say at this point, it was probably about 7 days ago, decided to look at that case and, bring some of the old videos that were on the news and really critique and critical think and explain all of Susan Smith's behavior. And I just thought that was really neat because nobody's really talked about Susan Smith in a little while. And now you have, I brought it up to people's attention, not saying that, it could have been on their stuff to talk about for some time, but I just thought it was pretty neat because nobody's been talking about her. We brought her up on this channel, and then a panel of 4 just really broke her, the body language down for her at the time. A lot of people weren't experts in body language in 1994, right? They just weren't. And over time with psychologists and everything like that, people got aware of the involuntary movements of someone's body because the brain is so vast that the human doesn't understand it. All the studying of brains, and the human still doesn't comprehend everything the brain can do. As a matter of fact, human beings only use about 10%. The most, I'm talking about like the Einsteins only use about 10% to 12% of their brain. So it's crazy what the brain can actually do. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, C12. I hope everything is well with you. So I'm just going to go right on in, and I'm just going to play the trailer. I have not worked on the episodes yet. Those will be coming out. I got to tell you, Olivia's been working very, very hard, doing some other stuff. That's why many of you guys have not seen her in a little minute. So guess what? I'm responsible for my own editing, and it's been such a learning curve. And so I am going to show you what I was able to create. It took me all day yesterday to do this 3 minutes. So without further ado, I'm going to mute my microphone, and we are going to just give you a trailer of what is to come with Todd Kohlhepp, convicted serial killer in South Carolina.
Todd Kohlhepp, he claims that he killed 2 men at the Hunt Club Apartments, and then buried the body somewhere between Spartanburg and Columbia. Authorities were focused on this particular road and this location. This is 20 miles from the Hunt Club Apartments. We're just out here. Look, turn around. Look at the road here. It's very remote. Dirt. This is the area where authorities looked. They didn't find nothing. They're just going to look again. Also to bring awareness to this case, because if there is victims, but nobody knows the victim's name. That was 4 people killed. He confessed to those murders. He said that was in 2003, the end of 2003. So, he murdered 2 other men, sometime between 2001, at the end of 2001, and at the time in 2003, before the motocross murders. So, was there missing men from the area that people don't know about, that were reported missing? He looked at the databases. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anyone that was reported missing. So he killed and buried him somewhere between Spartanburg and Columbia, South Carolina, along I-26 along a dead end road. So we've been searching, mapped out all the dead end roads, from Clinton all the way up to Spartanburg.
So we're here off another dead end, just looking to see if it's potential for a place that Todd Kohlhepp would have dumped bodies. This one I'm not too sure about, honestly.
And I know authorities were searching this area years ago, I believe. Looking for any signs of any two dead bodies, whether they're buried or whether they're just out there. They didn't find anything.
So we're in a place called Enery off of exit 41 off of I-26. As you can see, I-26 is directly behind me here. And then over on this side, you've got a lot of, thick brush and some open areas where you could dispose of somebody.
We went down the end of the road. It's a dead end. There's a big sign that says dead end. They have the road block. It's a lot of woods. It is a dumping site. I saw a lot of trash down there, right off of I-26. And he kills anyone down here. The serial killer Todd Kohlhepp kill anyone down here and buried them on this road. That's the mystery.
So that is what I was able to do all day yesterday. It did consume me. Yes, Sasha, I did. I've been playing around with editing software. Again, Olivia has just been swamped with other obligations. And I can't wait to see her. Again, her and I are making a plan to have dinner and discuss, new cases. And then a friend, many of you guys know, good morning, everyone that's tuning in. It looks like we have another person. We have a Sweden, we have we're Scotland, and now it looks like we got somebody from Canada. Good morning all, and of course everybody around the United States. So we try to keep this a drama-free zone for all of those that are tuning in. We are going to be discussing, obviously Mason Brandon is accused of, keeping the mom, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. Keeping the mom at home, like forcing her there or capturing her. And he killed her beautiful son and put him in a freezer. And so, I'm not sure if she escaped, if it was family that called, but Brandon is now in jail at this time. He is a despicable human being, and this poor, beautiful boy is now no longer with us. And it's just a sad, sad story. So we're going to move on with this. I do want to let people know that there are going to be more segments coming about Todd Kohlhepp. Another despicable person. He was, a confessed serial killer in South Carolina. When I was in South Carolina, we did cover his case. So moving on this morning, get this pulled up. So there we go. That is the mother that was captured. That is the despicable man. He looks normal. Again, that's how a lot of these people are able to get away with it. Even Todd Kohlhepp, he was he came out of prison. He lied on his application. He was able to get a real estate license. I don't know how many years he had that real estate license. This day and age, you got to go through a full, but he was in, South Carolina. I don't know what their laws here are there. Here in the state of Florida, you got to go through a level 2 FBI background check in order to obtain a licensure. I don't know if South Carolina has made some changes in their policies on, background checks and things of that nature. I hope they do. This gentleman, again, looks normal. He looks normal. The mom looks like she's not fearful, but that is the smoke and mirrors. I can guarantee her relationship with this man started out great. The problem with domestic violence is that you stay in that relationship hoping that that man turns back into the person that you fell in love with in the beginning. And over time, you just adjust and you don't even realize you're adjusting to that violence. You don't even realize you're adjusting. Many people hear of, and it's a defense. It's a defense now where women that have been in domestic violence, where they snap and finally have just had enough. And, they have, in some cases, killed their spouse. And it's called the battered wife syndrome. It is a defense in the court of law. So this is a horrible story of yet another 4-year-old. Now, these children that we have been discussing, we weren't discussing children before Summer Wells. We were discussing murders, of adults. And then Summer Wells kind of took over. And then we started seeing this cycle of abuse. Thank you, Anissa. Cycle of abuse. With these children, these young children under the age of 5. That is true. That is true. That is true. But you know what? I'm still going to be a smart aleck about it because, there are so many sympathizers out there that, if I would have, did a fact-finding mission, if this child was missing and I did a fact-finding mission and found out this man was guilty and he was walking around and I chose to apply pressure lawfully, coordinating with law enforcement to do a protest under the First Amendment, I would have been crucified yet again. People screaming that this man is innocent until proven guilty. And we would actually have people trying to campaign for finances for this man. So don't get mad. Go fill up this man's Cash App. He's innocent until proven guilty. So that is my smart aleck comments this morning. That is the title of this segment. That is truly how I feel. It's despicable of some people out there, with the bleeding hearts for these perpetrators of such horrific crimes to children. And, we do expose that conduct. Do we call people out? No. And just to dovetail into something else, for those that are here on the channel, we do not discuss other YouTubers here. And we also do not advocate for the harassment of other YouTubers or the doxing of other YouTubers on this channel. I want to make sure that that's very clear to all those that are here. Obviously, that has been a problem on here, YouTube in general. And, I think some people get this comfort level of making money for doing some horrible acts. We do not advocate for that here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I just want to make sure that I do put that out there. Many of you know through the grapevine that there was some legal action. We cannot discuss that here. We're not going to be discussing that in the future, nor are we going to be allowing anybody in here to disparage other people that are on YouTube, period. So I just want to make sure that disclaimer is made on this channel. This is going to be a drama-free zone. As many of you know, we have tried our hardest to make this a drama-free zone. So with that being said, there is a difference between First Amendment and harassment. And I want to make sure that that's clear for the audience here. Before we get into this case a little further, I just want to, where is it? Just to make sure that we are very well of what the difference is. So a speech is annoying, alarming, or otherwise meets the test of state statute that defines harassment. There are things that can be done and people can come after you. So we want to make sure that you guys are healthy and, that you guys don't get in any trouble for conduct that you may be doing. Not that I believe anybody in this chat does this, But we do want to give the disclaimer that there is a difference between First Amendment rights to freedom of speech and harassment, cyberbullying, and things that are, that are criminal or hold stiff civil penalties to. So we want to make sure that we do not engage in this kind of conduct. So I'm a First Amendment advocate as well. But I also, as many of you know, I'm a person of law and order. So we want to follow the law. And that's what we do here. We want to be adamant about following all laws. So with that being said, I'm not going to go into any more related to that. Just we want to make sure that everybody is doing well and in a safe spot, and do not engage in, harassment, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, or doxing of anyone, whether you agree with them or do not agree with them. What we do advocate for is if you don't like content, don't watch it. That's plain and simple. Don't respond to it, right? So we're off of that subject. We're moving on. Again, no personal comments, no legal comments, and no harassment or saying ill things about other YouTubers on this channel. So that's the disclaimer. That's what's going to be the standard for the Bullhorn Betty channel moving forward, which it has been for several months. Many of you know that we did kind of get into, when we first started coming out with this channel, we did kind of engage in drama type of stuff. That is no more. That hasn't been anymore since December of last year. And we will not engage in that moving forward. We keep it real. We keep it to the topics, and we want everybody to have an enjoyable experience on this channel. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And it's not, I agree with you, Mike. And it's not for somebody to tell you what you can and can't do. And I'm an advocate for that too. I have never told anybody you can't come over to this channel if you watch that channel. I have to say, my mother, she watches channels she doesn't agree with. And, sometimes I have to say, Mom, quit watching that garbage, because it upsets her. Right. So, but we just move on. If you don't like content and it gets this feeling in you, then just don't watch it. If you get frustrated watching it, why frustrate yourself? That's an action you're doing, right? You're frustrating your own self. Just change the channel. So anyways, moving on. So this is so the gentleman that is accused of killing this beautiful boy, his name's Brandon Toseland. Mason Dominguez is the kid that lost his life to that despicable man that looks so normal in that photo. And police are investigating his death, but at the end of the day, it is determined that the boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend, is the one that committed such horrible atrocities to this 4-year-old boy. This, I can say, from what I've been able to research, has nothing to do with DCS, or the alphabet soup of, child services in that state. This is something that, obviously it looks like they lived in a beautiful home right here. It looked like they were normal for all intents and purposes. And there was just some violence in this home. There was violence in this home because somebody just doesn't wake up one day and decide to do something to this child. I don't think, I'm not sure if he admitted it yet, Mike. He's in jail for it. But I have a funny feeling, because he held the mom captive, I have a funny feeling that she might have witnessed this horrible atrocity. And that's why he held her captive in that home. The child, yes, another beautiful, sweet baby that didn't even make it to his 5th birthday. It is sad. I hate covering these cases. And, I have this, Tessie, which is, we discuss this quite often. It started coming up with Summer Wells, with the Summer Wells case about physical abuse. But when the mom's being held captive and abused herself, she's not a party to the physical abuse upon this child. And many people know how I feel. If I truly believe she was at fault, I would speak up and say, you're right, Mike. He may very well blame her. He may very well blame her. That's how low and cold these people are. But I'm pretty sure we're going to find out that there is a pattern of abuse in this home, and it's that pattern that led law enforcement to this man. So, law enforcement would arrest both of the parents. They have in the past if they truly believed the mom was involved. I can honestly say if she was held captive, she was most likely beaten. She's probably got some injuries on herself to show that, she was not responsible for this, that this was a man that absolutely snapped, killed her child, and probably tried to kill her. She probably had to, act like she wasn't going to tell, whatever she could do to save her own life. I have to honestly believe that that's what happened. Do I have information of that? That's just my opinion. I've got no corroborating information or evidence to say that. But that is my opinion. That's something there in that home, and what she showed is, and very well, she may have been the one that called law enforcement when she had an opportunity. We don't know what the facts of the case are yet. These things are still rolling out. Obviously neighbors held a vigil for Mason. That's what we're seeing here. But this is just breaking. Look at that. Look at that. That's the backyard. That's just, it is horrible. It is horrible. Look at that. For all intents and purposes, that looks like a normal home and a lovely home, a safe environment. And we see this, what happens behind closed doors. Exactly, Sasha. Exactly. It is scary to think. And this is not unique to this family, guys. This is what we're hearing about. There are so many other cases we don't even hear about. Okay, there we go. Anissa's got getting us our information at this time. So let's just read this. So Las Vegas Metropolitan Police said the boy's mother sent a note to a local school with her daughter saying the mother was being held against her will. The note said she hadn't seen her other child since December, and she believes he was dead. So that is exactly why police and law enforcement did not charge the mother. The mother was actively trying to find ways to notify authorities about the atrocities going on behind closed doors. This is sad. The boyfriend. This is the mother's boyfriend. He doesn't have any biological relations to the child here. Many parents do, and there are some atrocities. Again, this is where I come back to the domestic violence aspect, because if you think about Serenity McKinney's case, again, it was the mom's boyfriend that committed the atrocities. But the problem is with Serenity's case, the mom was an accomplice. She wasn't trying to reach out. She wasn't trying to leave the man. She was an active participant in, and I guarantee we're going to find out, in the disposal of this child, of Serenity. And, it's despicable what some parents do. I don't know this Brandon's character. I don't know his past. I don't know if there was drugs involved, drugs or alcohol. I can say that the majority of these cases, there are some major factors that are the same. And a lot of the factors that are the same are the drug and alcohol aspect. Was this man an alcoholic? Was he a participant in the drug lifestyle? We don't know. I mean, in all appearances, it looks like a beautiful home, but was it the mom that paid for it? We don't know. We don't know these details, these minor details that actually are larger details, in the grand scheme of things. We don't know what the um, so the mom was kind of having a feeling that she was not allowed to go into the garage. Thank you, Anissa, for feeding us this information. Keep feeding us information as I'm going through this case. Um, this is just a sad state of affairs. There is a lot that's going on. I'm just going through here. I'm not really opening people's Twitters. I didn't reach out to these people to see if I could use their stuff. So we're just going on what is actually out there for the general public to see about this. And we'll just keep it as that. But there are a lot of things that are on YouTube today. So if you guys want to look for more information on this case, it is Mason Dominguez. Mason Dominguez. So, beautiful baby. And also in the description of this show, as you can see, there is a GoFundMe page. So the family is actually wanting to bury him next to his father, which met his demise last year. And so it would be very helpful. I know a lot of people do donate to the Bullhorn Betty channel. We would like to ask anybody that's willing to donate to this channel to instead whatever funds that you are going to be sending me or this channel to help support it, please go over to the GoFundMe page for Mason and give your donations over there if you would, please. That is my only request today. This family is trying to raise money. I do believe that Mason should be buried next to his father. And anybody that would like to contribute, I'm asking you guys to please do that through the GoFundMe page for Mason. I do appreciate all the love and support that this community provides me through Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. But today we want to make sure that any funds that you would be so kind to be giving this channel to redirect over to Mason's family. This sounds like a horrific crime that happened to the entire family. I don't even want to know what that mother is going through or what she has been going through. But that would be my request. And I appreciate all you guys honoring that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Can you just imagine? I mean, let's just put ourselves in this lady's shoes, right? She looks like a loving mother. I mean, she looks like she really loved her children and wanted to take care of her children. Can you imagine the terror that her and her daughter were going through in that home for that time from December? I mean, we're almost in March. That's 3 months of torture. 3 months she's been held captive in her own home. 3 months that she did not know where her son was, but knew it was not good. Moms know, they have that intuition. She knew something grave was wrong. And, she was just probably just trying to buy time so her and her daughter could survive this, which it appears they have survived this. The perpetrator is now behind bars. And again, it just gives you that uneasy feeling that, just the atrocities, what people can do to other human beings in this country is really, really despicable. I have to say, it really is very despicable. And we try to bring light to that. We try to let you guys know what is going on and how it is going on. So we are just going to keep moving forward, keep bringing awareness to this case, and we will be monitoring information related to Brandon as time goes on. So we will be bringing information, updating you guys on what is going on with Brandon as information becomes available to us. So and the animals as well. Yes. And many of you, the boyfriend never left the house. Jackie, I really don't know. I mean, there are some articles out there that discuss this case a little at length, but I just found out about this last night and started preparing for it. And I honestly cannot tell you. So let's just look at this. They're holding the visual. So we do have, that it's sad. So people did go out there to honor this beautiful little boy. We'll just watch some other segments on here as well.
In fact, neighbors tell me they Neighbors tell me they organized a vigil tonight. They never expected family and friends to attend. As you can imagine, it was a very emotional night. And earlier today, we learned new details surrounding this little boy's death. Neighbors, friends, and family of 4-year-old Mason Dominguez gathered for a candlelight vigil in the Northeast Valley. Strangers and loved ones walked down Saddlebrook Park Drive to the home where young Dominguez was found by authorities in a garage freezer. On Wednesday morning, 35-year-old Brandon Toseland made his first court appearance. Police identified him as the boyfriend of the boy's mom. He's facing 2 counts of kidnapping and a murder charge will be added. A police report revealed these details. Officers were dispatched to the residence investigating a kidnapping. When police interviewed Dominguez's mother, she told them her son became ill on December 11th. She said Toseland took her son to the master bedroom, barricaded the door, and refused to let her see him. After several days and weeks, Toseland told her he could not show Mason's body because his freedom would be taken away. The police report went on to say at times, Toseland would bound and tie her. She told police he prevented her from entering the garage, felt like she was not free to leave, and took her cell phone. If they did leave the home, he would handcuff her inside the vehicle. The report went on to say Toseland told her it was an accident, saying when he found Mason in bed, he was covered in vomit and not breathing. No attempt to call police or medical was ever made. On Wednesday night, one of Dominguez's aunts said this didn't have to happen. Now, police said when Toseland was in custody, he refused to speak with detectives. He was arrested on Tuesday after Mason Dominguez's sister brought a note with her to her elementary school teacher written by her mom. That note stated that she was being held against her will. She didn't know the whereabouts of her preschool-age child and believed he was possibly dead. Reporting in the Northeast Valley, Lauren Martinez, Fox 5 News Local, Las Vegas.
So that is the information that we have. It sounds like that family went through a just horrible, horrible experience. Clearly, that's the reason why the mom knew the boy, Mason, was gone. So this despicable man knew, and what I perceive as happening is he was probably sick. This guy may have, sounds like, vomited, and this guy went off on the kid because I'm sorry, when you have a child that's sick, you expect to have to clean up some of these, I had to do it with my own grandkids. It's disgusting, and it makes me almost want to vomit myself, smelling it and everything. But what do? You pick the child up and take them to medical attention. Children get sick just like adults get sick, you know? And it's just sad that something like this has happened. He knew what he did, and he was holding the family captive to cover up his crime. I'm thankful that he didn't, kill the whole family. We've experienced that with Anthony Todd, which I will be most likely covering that trial, coming in April 4th. It's going to start. So we will see how that goes. The reason why I'm covering that case is because, TikTok, we throw a lot of stuff on TikTok. TikTok's kind of the grounds in which we find out whether cases are going to have the bite that needs to be brought to light. And we cover a lot of cases that don't. But the ones that we actually go out to and see and monitor are the ones that our viewership want to hear about. So it's let me just bring that up. Oops, let me bring it back in here. So this is why we will most likely be covering it. We have almost 150,000 hits on TikTok for Anthony Todd. So we will probably most likely cover that trial case. I wish I would have covered this case from the very beginning because it was a despicable case. This gentleman massacred his entire family, including the family dog. Now, a lot of people have been commenting on the dog. I don't think they're saying that, they're giving more sympathy for the dog than the people that died. But I think their issue with it is why the dog, like the dog did nothing wrong. Even if you were angry with the parents, the children, the wife, the spouse, what did the dog do? It was a massacre of the entire family. But people have really wanted to hear about that. So we will be covering that case. Paola Miranda had literally no coverage for her. And because we felt it necessary, it was a local case that we could actually help. We went out there and helped. And through the use of great editing done by Olivia on the Chronicles of Olivia and the Chronicles of Olivia backup, we were able to garner her case went viral on TikTok, viral. So we were able to bring awareness to that. And many people don't realize that, Paola Miranda, there were some claims that there was a woman that matched her description being shoved into a car at a local gas station. A lot of people don't realize there is an underbelly out there in Orlando for the sex trafficking trade. I didn't know about it until this case. Does it mean that was her? It doesn't. Because when we went out there, we had a laundry list of things that could have happened to Paola. We were able to exclude a lot of them except 3. And those were, that she was truly, in fact, killed by an alligator. We determined that there was up to 14 feet alligators in and around that area. And many of you guys saw the photo of her, and she was in chest high water. She was in that area. She wasn't just taking a dip. She was literally walking down that spring. And, those signs that we showed folks of, the alligators, don't feed the alligators, this water, those larger, colorful, bigger signs were not there at the time Paola disappeared. Those were placed after she had disappeared, which tells me that law enforcement is leaning toward the alligator allegation. The other possibility that we came across with Paola's case was her getting out and getting lost in the vast wilderness out there. We, during our search for her, actually got turned around. And, it was, we were lost for about 4 minutes. It doesn't seem long when you hear 4 minutes, but that 4 minutes seemed like eternity when you're like, oh my gosh, which way do I go? Right? We were easily able, but we had equipment out there. We had our cell phones, we had GPS, we had, whistles, we had compasses, we had everything necessary to navigate properly in that terrain and in that area. So we did make it back okay. If you guys remember, Paola, according to the police reports and her family, her keys, her wallet, and her cell phone. Now, we were using GPS on our cell phone, but her cell phone was in the car. The only other reason why we kind of think maybe she didn't get lost in the wilderness is because from her own family, she's her sister Andrea told us that this is not our first time being in areas like this. Most people that are in areas like this wouldn't go into the thick brush. You see what I'm saying? Like they would see that this is not the area, and they would go back to the water and walk in the opposite direction that they came up in. So it makes us, that is a possibility, a legitimate possibility, because we ourselves did get turned around there. But the third possibility, which law enforcement did eliminate, was the foul play. I don't understand how they were able to eliminate the foul play so early on in the case, because from Andrea's perspective, they did not properly, do forensics. They didn't do any fingerprint analysis, any forensics on the car, and actually went through the car without taking photographs of where every little thing in that car was before they started ransacking it. So there were a lot of things that, if there was evidence of foul play, that may have been contaminated because of what they did at the beginnings. But with that new allegation of somebody matching Paola's description being shoved into a car by two men that had gotten out of it at a convenience store, apparently the story is there was a car that pulled into the convenience store. Apparently a woman had tried to get out of it, and the two men wrangled her up and threw her back in it. And this was about 2 weeks. Sorry about that. About 2 weeks after, I have not seen Olivia yet. Sorry, guys, but I can tell you that everything is as it should be. About 2 weeks since that time. So we are still following that case. We will continue to follow that case. And we're going to make, bring that case to light even more. So yes, the computer is frozen. As many of you guys know, I've made 2 trips to South Carolina. Olivia has my Mac that she was preparing. She's getting it all set up, and I have not seen her. So we're going to have a dinner where I'm going to be getting that back. Yay! And we will be rocking and rolling. And I'm getting new editing software on the new computer, which will make editing hopefully a little bit easier, a little bit quicker, a little bit nicer for me. But I can't wait to finally get that back. I feel like it's been eternity since I've had the computer, because it was the new computer that I bought, because this one is damaged. So hopefully this week we should see where it goes. I'm getting excited. So, but I did just get back from South Carolina. That's where we did discuss the Todd Colehep. And I can tell you, I did speak to Olivia yesterday. Everything is running great. Everything is running great. So just need to pick that up and we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. So can't wait. And I can't wait to show you. Nobody's even seen the computer yet. So I've got to, once I get it back, I will get you guys on the cell phone and show you the beautiful computer that many of you guys had helped crowdfund for, as well as we had one angel donor that paid. We had about 300, under 350 toward the computer that many of you guys helped donate to. And then an angel donor came forward and provided $500 toward the Apple computer. And then, of course, I covered the rest of it from that. It was about it cost, it wasn't a brand new computer, folks. A brand new MacBook Pro is like, I want to say like $2,500. So we got a new to me computer, which was great. And we're very appreciative of that. But I can't wait. I'm going to have to put you guys on. I should have that back this week. I'll let you guys know when I am going to be meeting with Olivia, and then we'll go live on the cell phone here, and I will show you guys what we all were able to accomplish. Let me get out of here. What we were all able to accomplish together. So again, without everybody's support, primarily my angel donor, we would not, it would not have been possible to upgrade our system, but it's going to be fabulous. And I think we're all going to enjoy production a lot better. But we're also going to be getting some other things going on here. We're going to be redoing the office. I'm not asking for donations for the office or anything. I just don't want the hate. You know, we get so much hate. I just want to make sure everybody knows we are going to be redesigning the office a little bit. We're going to be reconfiguring it around so we have more of a pretty background when we're on here. I feel like this is all just So guess what I am going to do? You know what people do? They call their moms. They call their moms. So my mom's going to be coming over here and helping me redesign, and Olivia and her mom actually offered too to redesign and help redesign this office so it's a more enjoyable experience for the viewers. This TV, I don't watch TV. I used to, you know, watch a lot of stuff on this TV, stocks and news and things of that nature. I don't do that anymore in this office. You know, the water cooler, oops, which way am I going? The water cooler is probably going to be repositioned in another area. So we do advocate for water consumption here. Water and coffee. Yes. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. I see all beautiful faces in here. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. So, but we will be getting everything together. It's all going to be rolling out. And like I said to many of you folks before, we've got other things in the pot. And that's why it was so important that we upgraded to the MacBook Pro, because we're going to be working on correlating with other true crime communities to get more information out to the folks. I haven't started rolling out with that yet, and I haven't started reaching out with other true crime communities just yet. But I think what we are brainstorming here and how we're going to bring it to everybody, it's going to be something that we can all enjoy. It'll be talking on many cases. Not all communities discuss the same exact case, and there's a lot of people. For example, Ronnie, our dear friend Ronnie here, that comes in here quite a bit. Oh, hello, Patty. Hello. Welcome. We were just discussing a case earlier today from your area. Actually, let me see if I can, for those that are just tuning in, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the video again. For those that have watched, it's 3 minutes. I know the people that love me, they will continue to stick around. So I'm going to mute myself and let you guys watch it. This is a case that we are going to be, I've already got all the stuff on. I'm just trying to edit it. I'm editing it on the old computer. I'm waiting for my new computer to finally, it is already set up. It's just coordinating to get it back is the only thing. Olivia has been super, super busy with her other job. Many of you know she has, she works, I'm not going to, tell people where she works or what she does, but she's been all consumed with her job, which she, as many of you guys know, her father passed away last year. She's been very vocal about that from COVID, and she takes care of her mom. So she's a very busy lady, and we have been very fortunate to have her as part of our team. And so she's just trying to get things. She's just been super, super busy. I will be seeing her hopefully this week or next week, and we'll be good to go. But I can't wait to show you everything that we have planned and roll that out to each and every one of you. So for those that are just tuning in, we're going to go ahead and bring the series to you. I'm going to mute myself now.
Todd Colehep, he claims that he killed 2 men at the Hunt Club Apartments, and then buried the body somewhere between Spartanburg and Columbia. Authorities were focused on this particular road and this location. This is 20 miles from the Hunt Club Apartments. We're just out here. I mean, look, turn around. Look at the road here. It's very remote, dirt. This is the area where authorities looked. They didn't find nothing. We're just going to look again. Also to bring awareness to this case, because if there is victims, but nobody knows the victim's name, that was 4 people killed. He confessed to those murders. He said that was in 2003, the end of 2003. So, if he murdered 2 other men, sometime between 2001, at the end of 2001, and at the time in 2003, before the motocross murders. So, was there missing men from the area that people don't know about, that were reported missing? He looked at the databases. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anyone that was reported missing. So he killed him and buried him somewhere between Spartanburg and Columbia, South Carolina, along I-26, along a dead-end road. So we've been searching, mapped out all the dead-end roads, from Clinton all the way up to Spartanburg.
So we're here off another dead end, just looking to see if it's potential for a place that Todd Colehep would have dumped bodies. This one I'm not too sure about, honestly.
And I know authorities were searching this area years ago, I believe. Looking for any signs of any, 2 dead bodies, whether they're buried or whether they're just out there. They didn't find anything.
So we're in a place called Enery off of exit 41 off of I-26. As you can see, I-26 is directly behind me here. And then over on this side, you've got a lot of, thick brush and some open areas where you could dispose of somebody.
We went down the end of the road. It's a dead end. There's a big sign that says dead end. They have the road blocked. It's a lot of woods. It is a dumping site. I saw a lot of trash down there, right off of I-26. Did he kill anyone down here? Did serial killer Todd Colehep kill anyone down here and buried them on this road? That's the mystery.
So again, that was Todd Colehep. For my friends from South Carolina, we are covering that serial killer, convicted serial killer. He was convicted of killing 7, and he has alleged with a documentary company that there were 2 more people. Many say that there were a lot more than 2 more. Because, he was already leaning toward the murder rate back when he was 15 years old and was convicted of kidnapping a neighborhood girl. What had happened, so the story is that he tried to coerce a neighborhood girl with him 4 times. And on the 5th time, he brought a .22 caliber gun and forced her at gunpoint and raped her. And that's why he got so much time in the Arizona prison. He got 14 years and was out in 2001. From 2001, and that was November of 2001, in November of 2003, only 2 short years later, he massacred an entire motor shop the people that were there. So it was the owner, his mother, and 2 other employees. Brandon, what was their names? I don't have my book here, but it was a Lucas, a Christopher, and his mother's. I remember her last name was Guy. It starts with an M. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he had massacred everybody in this bike shop. Well, when he was talking to this news crew, this documentary crew about himself, he alleged that there was 2 people that when he got out of prison in 2001 and moved to the Hunt Club apartments, he was there and people were harassing him for being a sex offender. And he alleges that 2 people, one brought a knife or one brought a hammer, one brought another weapon with him. And he had no choice but to stab one in the chest and one in the neck. And he actually disposed of this, of their bodies between Spartanburg and Columbia off I-6 down a dead end road. So law enforcement in 2018, after working with Todd Kohlhepp to identify areas, they found 3 areas that kind of matched his description and decided to do the search at exit 41 off of I-26. And we visited that site. That was actually where Jonathan was speaking. That was actually the site that law enforcement. Okay, we're going to be done with this computer. I'm not going to come live on my computer until we get until I get the MacBook Pro back. So we'll just go live from the cell phone from this point forward. It's going to be much more difficult to show stuff on here, but it's irritating to me. So I can't wait to have that computer back. It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. So at any rate, so Todd Kohlhepp was actually, we were down those roads, but we identified several more locations and we actually went to them. One of those locations was actually 50, I think it was exit 54 and exit 52. The one off of exit 52 was very promising as well. Another dump site. It bordered right along I-26. Behind me, you could hear and see I-26, and it was the exit 52 to Clinton. So this was a prime, great place for it. And so hopefully, again, let me just see. Olivia is going to be calling me back and let me know when she's going to be able to meet with me. So hopefully we'll get everything back up and running. It's just going to be a little bit of a curve here while we go through this process. And I'm going to have to come back on because I've got to be able to show my. Got to enter the studio. Give me just a second. Perfect. Not. Okay. No, it's still not going to do it. I'm going to be down until I can get the other computer. We're just going to go live from the cell phone, which means I'm not going to be able to share anything with you. So I will see if I can get in to meet with her in the next day or 2 and get that back, because this is going to be too difficult. Let me just see if she responded back. That's going to suck. It doesn't look like she's going to be able to meet with me until March 2nd. All right. Well, we'll get that figured out. At any rate, I just wanted to tell you guys this is where we're going. I'm going to be rolling out more on Todd Kohlhepp. We will go live throughout the day today as I edit these videos, and we will be bringing them to you. So I hope you guys stick around. I'm also going to be uploading them to the YouTube channel. So please, please, please stay tuned. And also this month, we are going to be upgrading cell phones. So through YouTube AdSense, that means all the videos that you guys have been able to watch and watch the advertisements on, we have been able to receive funds for that. And those funds are again going to be rolled into this channel, and we're going to be upgrading the cell phone. So I'm going to be getting, because we got the MacBook Pro and now we need the Apple cell phone. So those things will work simultaneously together. And again, it's going to be a much greater, I have more abilities to do a lot of different things with the MacBook products, as Olivia has taught me. So we will be upgrading the cell phone as well. And I just want to thank everybody that watches this channel and watches the ads on the past videos. That is how we can get stuff done here. You know, we have a lot of people that support us through the membership, and we have a lot of people that support us through donations. Again, I want to remind everybody that provides donations to this channel, cash donations through PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, to please divert those funds over to the GoFundMe account for Mason. I have got those in the description of this channel. So please, please, please go over there, and any contributions you were giving to the Bullhorn Betty channel for wish list items or otherwise, please donate those funds today and the rest of this week over to Mason's GoFundMe page. We really want to help that family. He does deserve to be buried next to his father, and we want to help make that possible for him. So with that, guys, I've got to prepare for, we're going to be going live most of the day today. So please, stay tuned. The next segment is going to be about Todd Kohlhepp. So it'll probably be in a couple hours. I've got to edit some more videos, and then we will be live. So again, today and tomorrow and the rest of this week, please, any funds that you are going to be providing the Bullhorn Betty channel, we would like to donate those over to the GoFundMe page for Mason. I want to tell you guys, I love you. You guys are beautiful people. We are blessed to have each and every one of you here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you're not getting the live notifications, please go out there and change the bell to none, turn it back to all. If that does not help, unsubscribe and resubscribe. But you want to take your make sure the bell is on all, so you get not only just the notifications when I go live, but you get the notifications when I upload videos about these cases. So oh wow, that's exciting, but not. You know what, it's funny, Karen, the crazy thing is one time I was driving, and this was with my husband, and we were driving, we were going out to, I can't even remember the name of the saloon we were going out to. We were meeting a few of our biker friends out, and we were driving there, and all of a sudden there were like golf ball size and almost to baseball size hail that came down. And I was so scared because I was driving my new car. The car that I don't have anymore, it blew, the engine blew up on it, and that was from our mechanic. We won't even go there. But we were driving, I had just bought the car, and this hailstorm just started. I mean, there was chunks of ice. It felt like something out of a movie. Like I had never in my history here, I've lived in Manatee County my entire life, born in Manatee Memorial Hospital, and never had seen a hailstorm quite like this. There was literally chunks, like this stuff was falling down, and chunks were just breaking. And I remember I'm screaming, I'm like, just get under some cover. When they started hitting the car and the window, I thought it was going to crack the windshield. Thank God it did not crack the windshield, but it was still a scary, event for me. And if I didn't need a drink before that, I definitely needed a drink after that. So at any rate, guys, I love you. God bless. We want to thank all of our supporters here. Most importantly, we will be getting everything back up and running. I'm having still some technical issues because we had to go back to the old computer while the new computer was being set up. Many of you don't know how to work Apple products, and I should have had it back over a week ago, but with the other stuff coming up, as many of you know, that we can't discuss here and will not be discussing in the future, I had to, it's been a 2.5 week process. And so I have not been home, and I've been home very, very little. Actually, haven't been home for more than 24 hours in weeks. So it's kind of caused an issue, but we are getting it resolved. Things are looking up. They're looking better. And please stay tuned for more about these cold cases, learn more about, just updating on old cases and more about ongoing and current cases. Again, we are a true crime community here. We did start out with these little children with Summer Wells. We advocate for Summer Wells Army, but we also need to take that army and fight for more children that have gone missing and have been affected, by their parents, and DCF, or the alphabet soup of Child Protective Services, not doing their job or losing children falling through the crack. And the children that are falling through the crack are meeting their demise because they weren't monitored properly by DCS. And we want to, honor those children and hopefully advocate for changes on a national level. And we are going to be working on finding solutions to advocate for this, because quite frankly, I'm sure many people in the true crime community, just like me, are sick and tired of covering these cases. We are sick and tired of it. We want, we don't want to cover any murders. We would rather do, segments like on The Beacon. The Beacon, we had segments on, talking about a burger joint. I would love to do those types of things versus this true crime stuff. But there is a reason why we're here. We need to get back out in the field and, uncover more information about cases. Once Olivia's schedule is less hectic, we will be making plans to get back out in the field, do more one-on-one interviews with folks. And we actually have an interview, if many of you guys remember, Ruth, aka Edie Sakala. We had an interview with not only her daughter, but her son as well. And I have not been able to get those up, but I need to do those editing on that as well and get those brought to you guys as soon as possible. And we will be getting those out and advocating for Ruth Sakala as well. She has still not been found. She's a 75-year-old woman that went missing in Pasco County and Newport Richey on December 15th and walked out of her home and never returned again. Her family does not believe there's foul play, but does believe she might be held against her will. But they do not believe that she's met her demise. And we definitely want to make sure that her face is plastered all over social media for those that, monitor these things that are out there. When you guys see her, you guys can call and give us some updates on information. So with that, everyone, God bless you. Take care. We love you. We thank you. And just keep making this channel a great channel, a drama-free zone that we can all get together and brainstorm and have a conversation and make you part of the team. So with that being said, I love you and God bless everyone.